Right, let's skip unboxing, let's skip setup, let's skip what's going on, guys, without waiting for an answer, and let's move right into reading. What's the best way to read in 2023? Well, there's the best way. You can use Kindle Paperwhite, you can use Kobo Clara 2e, or you can use a book made of paper. Let's start with the price. Kindle is about 120 pounds, maybe more or less. Kobo is pretty much the same, 120, 50, something like that. And the book is about, I don't know, 5 pounds, $5, something like that. So it's much cheaper until you want to buy 100 of them. Then it gets pretty much expensive, and those two readers are getting cheaper and more affordable. Okay, so the size and holding in your hand. Some people like to hold paper books in the hand. I mean, it's really good to grab and carry around, but it's too big. It's pretty big. Look at this. The thickness of a reader and a book is so much different. It's much easier to carry this around or Kindle than a paper book. So paper book, you're crap. I'm sorry, but you're old and you're too big, and go away. Weight. Oh yeah, weight. They weigh pretty much the same. Yeah, but in my Kobo or in my Kindle, I have few hundreds of books, and if I want to carry around hundreds of One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nests, then it will be super heavy and terrible. Actually, it's the worst thing about moving from place to place. If you like to read books and you have lots of them, then you are in trouble because you need to hire a few trucks to change place of living. And actually, I'm moving from place to place every month, so it'll be terrible to use those books. So yeah. Okay, how do you actually open a book and read it? Okay, let's take a look at the Kindle. You press this button down here, and then you wait for some reason. You still wait. Then you have to swipe it to unlock it, and there you go. You can go and read the excellent book of Ken Casey, what's his name? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And then you flip pages like this, or like this, which is fine. And how do you do the same on Kobo? You turn it on now, and you keep reading like this. So as you can see, Kobo is much faster if you want to just start reading. Now, Kindle shows you something about lies, simply James. What is this? It's not my book. I didn't order it. I don't want to read it, but it tells me that I really need to. I don't want to. So when I turn it on again, it keeps telling me that I really need to read this book, and it tells me, read it now. And I have to swipe to unlock it and then go back to a book I actually want to read. Now, Kobo, it shows me the cover of a book I'm actually reading. It tells me sleeping, which is nice. It tells me how much I've already read, which is great. And then when I turn it on, now it goes right to reading. This is great. Kobo's a winner. Now, how do I do it with the book? Well, I move things with my fingers. So I need to do this sort of movement and open it. And of course, I'm at the wrong page now. It's 77. It should be something like, I don't know, I think 160. So I'm looking and doing things like that. Yeah, there you go. And I can keep reading. The problem is every time I need to do the same operation again. So opening is pretty easy, but I need to look for a page. So there's an invention. An invention is like a piece of something, like a cloth or a paper. They used to call it bookmark. But now nobody cares about bookmarks. You just take anything and put it right where you need it, like this. And then it tells you where you finish reading. But look at this now, it's messy. Well, actually, you need a bookmark or some piece of paper. So then opening, it's fast. Still, I prefer Kobo, believe it or not. Now, about reading. How do you read actually on a book? Well, you hold it with your fingers or your hand like this. Or you just place it somewhere like that, and then you read, and you read, and then you need to move your finger to change the page. Now the same goes with Kobo. You place it like this, and you read it, or you hold it in your hand. How about the book? Well, you place it like this, you open it, and it closes right back on, which is super annoying. So you can't actually read it like this unless you destroy the book by pressing it real hard, which is a bad idea because it's not my book even. So it's really difficult actually to read a book because it keeps closing like this. So you need a hand to hold it in place, and then you need to actually put some effort into holding it with your hand. So it's not the best. And flipping the pages, you need to do it like this. Take one page at a time. And the good thing about this, it makes this nice sound. Hear it? It's like beautiful sound. However, you're for reading, not for listening to beautiful sounds of a paper. So it's actually a bad thing. Now, flipping pages on a Kobo is much easier. You just do it. Or you do this movement, like swiping movement, like this. It's like simulation of opening a book and doing this, like this. I know some people like paper books, but they are actually what they like about the books, which every person tells me, it's the smell. So let's compare the smell. Okay, let me tell you. I never tried actually. Okay, doesn't smell of anything but plastic. Now this might be even more terrible because it's made of recycled plastic. This Kobo 2E, but let me check it. No, it's okay. It's just plastic. It doesn't smell of anything. How about the book? Oh, beautiful smell of a forest, smell of woods. It's excellent. So buy a book made of paper for smelling. If you're into smelling, then yeah, right away you should be buying paper books and keep smelling them until you're content. Because that's what they are actually made for smelling. Yes, they print all this stuff so people can smell it. I don't even know why they print things. If people are buying books for a smell, then just buy, empty pages like that, and then make them sit for 20 years so the smell improves, and then you're happy because you have a book for smelling. This is one of the good things about readers. If there is a night, it happens, sometimes it's dark, then what do you do with a book? Well, you do nothing. You wait until the morning and you go to bed, and then you wake up and you keep reading. Or you buy a lamp and it's readable then. But you need a lamp. So you hold the book in one hand, the lamp with another, and you're set for reading. It's kind of not perfect. Kindle Paperwhite 10th generation has light. You do movement like this, and then you press, what do you press? Oh, you don't press anything. There's brightness, and you can set it all the way up, and it's nice. With the additional light, brightness like this, it's pretty cool. You can read everywhere, even during the night, right before you go to bed. It's pretty white. The color actually is a little bit bluish, just a little bit. It's white, but it's not like daylight white. Kobo has it better, and it works better. You don't have to move your finger from the top. You just do this, and it gets brighter or less bright. That is perfect solution. That's fantastic. So Kobo wins here. The interface of Kobo is much better. For some reason, Kindle does not improve their things anymore. I mean, this is the Kindle. It's basically the same as it was, 10 years ago. They are not much improved when it comes to interface. This is not a bad thing because it's pretty good already, but Kobo keeps improving things, and little things like that make huge difference because this is what you do pretty often. Sometimes you read during the day, sometimes during the night, sometimes you go outside, sometimes inside. So if you have an option to make it bright or make it less bright with movement like this quickly, it's huge improvement. Now, turning on and turning off. This is the problem of Kindle. I don't know who was the bright guy who invented a switch at the bottom of the device. Because the problem is, look at that. If you want to place it on something to read it like this, and you press it too much, it turns off. There you go. Actually, it takes a while to turn off. It's also slowish. So it's a bad idea. I had a problem all the time when I placed it against something. It kept turning on and off, and then I just swipe it. So that's a bad thing about Kindle. I hate this idea. Who is the smart guy? Seriously, here at the bottom, there could be button here on the right side, on the left side, on the top. And it would be much better, but down here, this is ridiculous. Kobo Reader does not have buttons anywhere on the edges, so you can place it anywhere safely. It has a button in a very strange place, but it makes perfect sense. It's here. And it's like a little hole here, so you have to press it with your finger. But when you place it on something flat, it has absolutely no chance of being turned on or off automatically. So this is absolutely perfect solution. Somebody who actually uses those devices has been designing them, which is good. And whoever was the designer of Kindle and its buttons has never actually used it, because if you use it for a few days, you immediately notice that this is the worst idea ever to place a button at the bottom, unless you want to hold it in your hand always. Kobo is a better thing. Also about the speed of those devices. How fast is it to turn a page? Well, let's take a look. Kindle goes like, okay, goes like this. Okay, how about Kobo? Okay, pretty much the same. It is though slightly faster. You can feel it. It's not exactly, you cannot measure it. I mean, it's still just a fraction of a second, but you can feel it. It's a bit more responsive. That's got all other functions, but it's not that important. Both devices are pretty much the same. The design itself, Kobo, for some reason, it's not as tall as Kindle. Kindle is taller, but here's the surprise. It does not have a bigger screen. Kindle's screen is exactly the same as Kobo's screen, but it uses all this space. Take a look at the top for some reason. I don't know. There's another strange thing about design. Why would you like all this space up here? You don't hold the reader like this. You hold the reader like that or like that. There's barely enough room here, but it's okay. Or you keep it like this, or just place it on somewhere. There's absolutely no need to keep the space here. It's completely uncomfortable to hold ebook reader like this. Whoever does that. Kobo does not have this problem. There's not much room at the top, which makes sense. But there's room at the bottom, so it's really comfortable to keep it like this or like that. And it's okay. One thing that is better about Kindle is that it's not as slippery. So when I place it like this, it keeps falling. Like I place it on something slippery like a book, it's gonna fall down, falling down, there you go. Kindle does the same, but it holds a bit longer. Yeah, there you go, see, it holds. Hold the line, Kindle's the winner here. Yeah, Kindle's better because it's not as slippery. Kobo is much more slippery, and it actually wanted to escape from my hand a few times already. But those things I just mentioned are the most important. The brightness, it's great. Responsiveness is better, slightly, but you can feel it. And the most important thing, the ridiculous button at the bottom is gone. I mean, it never was here. Kindle still has it in 10th generation of Paperwhite. And what else? Oh, yeah, when you turn it off and on, it's really super fast. And as you go back into reading, this is the thing that's a deal breaker comparing to Kindle. Okay, it's not a deal breaker, but it's so much better to be able to start reading immediately. Now comparing to the book. I'm sorry, book, but your times of glory are gone, except for smelling. Smelling is good, but everything else is just bad. Now let's talk about how much maintenance all those things need. That is the good thing about readers. Those readers go for on one charge go for a month or a few weeks, depends how often and how much you read and how much you use it. I used to keep Kindle for months sometimes without charging, and it was still okay, and I could read it. So no problem here. Actually, somebody tells me that it needs battery, so you cannot take it to an island with no electricity. Actually, you can. First of all, if you stay on an island for a month, you will not need charging at all. If you stay there for a year, it takes so little electricity, you just can use a solar battery. Any will do, because it needs so little of electricity to work for a long time. So with a solar battery and the reader, you're good forever. There's no reason that this device should not last you for all your life. It actually should. It probably won't. Maybe it will break at some point. But it takes years to stop working. I mean, every battery dies eventually, but I don't think it will die anytime soon. Now, the book does not need any battery, so it's good, you would say, and it's better than e-reader. Well, it's not. Look at this book. E-reader does not have problems with that. It's getting yellow now, and pages start falling apart. This book has about 20 or 30 years, as I can tell. I'm not actually sure, but it's a little bit old now, and things are starting to fall apart. In 50 years, this book will be good only for a toilet paper. I'm sorry, it will fall apart. While this book on a device like this goes on forever. It's you cannot destroy it. You cannot bend it. I mean, you cannot pull a page out of the book. You can do it easily here, or write on it, or just destroy it by moving your hands. How about water? Well, if you're on this island, famous island with no electricity, after one rain you will have no books, because water is a killer for a book. It will kill it. I could make an experiment here and drop it into water here, and it would get destroyed. You can imagine what would happen to a book made of paper. While both of those devices survive any amount of water, of rain. Actually, I'm not sure you should be swimming with it. Probably not, but I think it would survive some reasonable amount of submersion. But the rain, that's the most important. Yes, you can read in the rain, and sing even. I'm reading in the rain, just reading in the rain, and the bloody paper doesn't get and doesn't melt. Okay. Interface of Kobo reader is much better than interface of Kindle. Kindle is not bad, but this some ideas for design are not so good. You can probably see other reviews what it looks like. It's not bad. It's like you've got all your library here. But look at the home. You go home, and then you've got all this mess on Kindle. You've got your library at the top, which shows you the books you read last. Then you've got Discover books. Yeah, Discovers, keep it. Oh, Pollyanna. And then gives you all sponsored things and more like memoirs of extraordinary popular delusions of crowds, which I like to read. More like Pollyanna. Why is it Pollyanna here? And then gives you lots and lots of suggestions. Buy this and buy that. And it's like trying to sell you things forever. Now, Kobo, if you go to the home screen, is much more polite about it. I think actually it's pretty new. So it just gives you the book you have and you want to read. Actually, they are your books. There are no commercials at all. So my book, my book, my book, my book, my book, my book, and no suggestions for buying. If I want to discover something new to buy, I touch Discover, and then they go to some ebooks, audiobooks, or Overdrive. Never tried it before. So it's pretty cool. Also, there is an easily accessible section of my books, and then I've got the list of what I want to read, sorted by authors or series or whatever I like. I can make my own collections. It's very well thought of interface, very fast to start and very comfortable to read every day. I go back to the book I've been reading, and here we go. I can turn it off, and then I can go back on, like click, and I read it. It's even faster than turning a page to turn this thing on, believe it or not. Now, this is clumsy to compare. There is library, thank goodness, and I've got the list of the books I have, but that's about it. I cannot sort it quickly. I've got all those menus here hidden somewhere, and look at this. It's okay. It keeps working. I can sort by author and do things, but I need to do all this touching. And you know, this is a touch screen on a device that's not very responsive, because that's the way the technology is on those devices. So saving a click or a touch goes a long way here. So Kobo does it in the best possible way. Kindle is not up to it. And they keep selling you things. I mean, I'm in my library. Why do I have Search Kindle here? I don't want to buy things now. I want to read what I already have. And they keep trying to sell you things all the time. It's really, really annoying with Kindle. And of course, when you turn it off with a button placed in a completely ridiculous place, it goes and tells you if you want to buy a Dragon's Chain, for example. It's fine, but no, please stop nagging me all the time about things I want to buy. It's okay. I like to be offered things, but come on. The cost is too much because it takes forever to go through this, and I need to swipe things to even turn it on. Why do I need to do that? Okay, go back again. So Kobo is the winner. Absolutely, it is. I did not, I just bought it recently. I did not suspect it would be so much better, but it is. It's faster. The screen is of a better quality. For some reason, it's sharper. You can set the brightness super easily. You can make it more white or more yellow. You can probably tell this is, I didn't press it. You can probably tell this is a bit yellowish. That's the way I like it. So you can set it to be white or whiter or more yellowish. It's not that Kindle is not bright enough or quality is bad. No, they are all great. The interface and the design is better with Kobo. Everything else is pretty much the same. So you can't go wrong with buying Kindle Paperwhite, but I would buy Kobo. There's one reason not to buy Kobo. Kindle is integrated with their own shop or store, Kindle shop, I don't know what they call it. So there are some books on Kindle that you can buy that Kobo does not have. But Kobo has a big library of books too. I have books in files, so I can actually upload easily books to both devices. Kobo and Kindle you can just connect them to a computer and upload whatever you want. Kobo is here the winner too. First of all, the type of connection on both devices. Look at this. This is 10th generation of Kindle. It's a year old, and it's got this old micro USB type. Well, it's okay. It's not like super old, but come on. You should upgrade years ago. Kobo has USB-C type, which is great because, you know, now everything starts to have USB-C, so we don't need two types of plugs. So Kobo's the winner. Also, Kobo can read EPUB format of ebooks, and Kindle still does not have it. I mean, what's wrong with Amazon? This company is like run by 85 years old guys with dementia. They have no idea they live in 2023. They think they are still 90s. Their readers have ridiculously placed a button somewhere. The design is so you have to go through commercials to start reading your own book, and it's got old plugs, and it doesn't read all those most popular ebook formats. What's wrong with Kindle? I mean, what's wrong with Amazon? I mean, the device is still great, but it's getting old now. Now Kobo is the leader, definitely the leader of ebook readers. So I don't know about other models. The Kindle it's my third Kindle. The first one was with keyboard, mechanical keyboard. It actually was a good thing. Okay, the keyboard was not very good quality or anything, but it had physical buttons for turning pages. I miss that. They should still have it. It's so much easier, and there was no touch screen. That was a great idea. Touch screen, well, you know, it's good and it's not good, because you know it's good for navigation. If you want to go somewhere, do something, then touch screen gives you all those possibilities like swiping and whatnot, and menus. But if you want to read it, you need to be careful not to touch the screen. And this is the ebook reader. It's for reading, not for navigating. So my first Kindle with no touchscreen was great because I could just grab it. And then when I do it here, it does all sorts of things to the screen, to the books. So I don't like it. Kobo has also touchscreen, and well, too bad. So the first Kindle was great about not having a touchscreen, believe it or not, because it was reading was so much comfortable. I could just, you know, carry it around, and I need to be careful. However, with Kobo, I can carry things around because I can turn it off really quick, and then I can touch it all I like, and I don't care. I can carry it around and then go back to reading with this button. That is great, and it's a game changer. Now with Kindle, I know it takes forever to turn it off and on, so it's okay, but it's not as comfortable. It's a bit annoying. See, I press the button and it takes seconds to go back, and then it gives you some commercials, but okay. And then when you turn it on, you need to wait, then you need to swipe, and then you're back. Not good, not good. So Kobo is winning the race. That's the best ebook reader so far. This model is called Clara 2E. E is for eco, I think, and for absolutely no reason they advertise it as eco-friendly, which is okay, but this is not what's the most important in this reader. This is a good reader. You should be advertising interface, brightness, right plug, button in the right way, responsiveness, the speed of turning on and off. That's what's important about this reader, and not that it is made 80% or 90% or something out of recycled plastic. It's fine, but I don't read the ebook reader because it has plastic. I buy it because I want to read a book in the most comfortable, efficient, and cheap way. And Kobo is winning. And Clara, I bought this model, Clara 2E, because it's also waterproof, it's got good lighting, and other models are either too big or they don't have some features like being waterproof. Waterproof is actually pretty important. If you read in a tub, then you will appreciate it, especially with this model because it's slippery and can go like this and you're gone. All your library has been drowned. Not with Kobo. Kindle also is waterproof, so it's great. You probably need this feature more than you think. Sometimes you want to read outside, and especially if you live in England, it rains 5 times a day, so you never know when it will kill all your books, because few drops can fall on the reader like this. Okay, what about the book? What about reading paper? I don't know, guys. I don't do it anymore. I seriously don't. Years ago, I stopped reading books on paper because there's no reason to buy books on paper. There's no reason to buy them. There's no reason to sell them. I have no idea why people are so stubborn and they still want to buy paper books. There is no good thing about paper book comparing to Kobo. Just leave it alone. Let it die. Heaven's sake. Why? Why, oh why do everybody has to smell a book? If you want to smell things, you know, there are better things to smell. Buy a rose. Buy some good food. Don't buy a book for smelling. What's wrong with you, man? Change your habits. Buy a Kobo. You will be thankful. You'll get used to, actually, it takes about a week or two to be so used to this reader that you never want to go back. Kindle is fine. I lived years with Kindle, and I never wanted to go back to reading paper books. You appreciate it very soon. So that's all my library in this little device. Actually, it's not here. It's on my computer. I've got just few books here, but it can take thousands of books. They don't take much space in memory, and you don't need to worry about battery or about rain, about anything. And it's always ready for you to read. Absolutely perfect device for reading, so much better than paper, and it's a winner with Kindle Paperwhite. So that's my review for you from everyday life with a book. See you, or not. I don't know. I don't make reviews regularly, so maybe I'll review something for you someday, or maybe not. Anyways, see ya later. Bye.